Today, I'm going to show you 7 tricks stylists use to make cheap clothes look expensive. And the 7th is by far the most powerful. These tricks have nothing to do with brand or price. They work because they change how the eye reads a look. The problem isn't the budget. It's that nobody ever taught you what actually makes an outfit look sophisticated. We'll start with the simplest one, and it's exactly the one most people completely ignore. Trick 1. Make the clothes look made for your body. You know that feeling of putting on an outfit and something not being right, but you can't pinpoint what. The shoulder is too wide, the sleeve goes past your wrist, the hem drags. The outfit isn't wrong, but it doesn't look like yours. This is the first of the 7 tricks, and the most direct one. Before any accessory, check 4 points: shoulder, waist, sleeve, and hem. If any of them are baggy, tight, or ending in the wrong place, fix it. Look at these jeans with a poplin shirt. Now the same combination with the hem at the right length and the shoulders sitting exactly in place. The piece didn't change. What changed was precision. Stylists call this the tailoring illusion. The brain reads fit precision before it registers fabric or price. When a cheap piece fits with that kind of exactness, the mass production signal disappears. The rule is simple. The piece needs to follow your body without revealing that it's trying to. Trick 2. Swap out the details that instantly give away a cheap piece. Now, the myth that ruins the most looks. Most women believe that for an outfit to look expensive, the secret is in the fabric. Logical thinking. Except it's not always true. You can have gorgeous fabric, and it still looks cheap. Why? Because what the eye reads first isn't the fabric. It's the buttons, the buckle, the zipper, the hardware. These details work as clues the brain uses to judge quality before it processes the rest of the piece. Look at this plain white shirt with its original plastic buttons. Decent fabric, good fit, but something keeps it at a certain level. Now just swap the buttons. Subtle pearl, matte, slightly translucent. The shirt is the same. The result isn't. Stylists call this the hardware upgrade. A cardigan with matte gold buttons. A basic coat with tortoiseshell buttons, a plain dress with a brushed metal buckle belt. The quieter the piece, the more weight these details carry. What to avoid? Overly yellow gold, shiny plastic, hardware that steals the show. It's a strong trick, but the next one changes something in your whole look that you didn't even realize was wrong. Trick 3. Wear close tones to make separate pieces look like an expensive set. Have you ever left the house in pieces that matched, and the look still felt disconnected, as if each piece belonged to a different world? This is the 3rd of 7, and it solves exactly that, without buying anything new. What stylists do before thinking about accessories, texture, or anything else, they work within a color family, not identical colors, shades from the same family, at different depths. Cream with ivory with camel, chocolate with coffee with caramel. Dark blue with medium blue, with lighter blue. Look what happens with tailored chocolate brown pants, a warm beige blouse, and a structured cognac leather bag. Each piece on its own looks basic. Together, in tones that are close without repeating, the look starts to feel deliberate, as if they came from the same collection. The deciding detail, the eye finds no interruption. Without a jarring contrast, it moves across the whole look as a single volume. That's what communicates sophistication, not the piece itself, the continuity between them. The one thing to watch for is falling into 2 nearly identical tones that clash with each other. The shades need to look intentional, not accidental. It's a trick with real impact, but the next one works on a layer you've probably never considered, and the effect is immediate. Trick 4. Place a rich texture next to a basic piece. You've probably put together a fully coordinated look and still felt like something was missing, but couldn't identify what. Most of the time what's missing isn't color or cut, it's surface. This is the 4th of 7, and I'll show you first what happens without this adjustment. A basic white t-shirt with light gray tailored pants. Neat, clean, but completely neutral. It looks exactly like what it is. 2 simple pieces placed together well. Nothing reads as a sophisticated choice. Now just swap the pants. The same white t-shirt, now with a matte satin midi skirt in dark sand and caramel suede mules. No expensive pieces. What changed was the surface of one of them, and suddenly the t-shirt looks intentional. looks like part of something. The eye doesn't just read color and silhouette, it reads texture. And when there's a more sophisticated surface in the look, suede, matte silk, understated leather, fine knit with good drape, it rubs off on everything around it. The basic pieces start to look like choices, not leftovers. The detail most people miss, one rich texture, is enough. 1. When you stack satin, patent leather, metallic and rhinestones in the same look, trying to build luxury, the effect cancels itself out. The anchoring works precisely because everything else is simple. It's a strong trick, but the next one acts on something that comes before any piece, any color, any texture. It changes how you're perceived before people even process what you're wearing. Trick 5. Create a point of authority on the upper body. Notice how sometimes you walk into a place, haven't said anything, haven't done anything, and there's already someone who simply gets noticed? Not because of the most expensive outfit, not the flashiest accessory. There's an invisible architecture to that presence, and most people can't name what they're seeing. This is the 5th of 7 tricks, and it works on a very specific zone of the body. The human eye has a natural landing point. It goes straight to the face. Before processing the outfit, before assessing the style, it looks for a face. What stylists do, deliberately, is build a frame around that region. A firmer, more defined line, closer to the shoulder and neck, that works as visual direction. The eye doesn't need to wander across the whole look to find you. It reaches you first. Look at this first outfit. A plain white t-shirt and straight black pants. Comfortable, neat, but neutral. Now the same t-shirt, the same pants, with a raw fabric, slightly structured shoulder blazer on top. The outfit didn't change. What changed was the framing. And here's the detail that changes everything. When that blazer is swapped for a scoop neck top, hair pulled back, and wide gold hoop earrings, something interesting happens. The earring isn't the most elaborate element, but it finishes the path. The eye travels up the neckline, finds the ear, and lands on the face. That's the guidance that makes a woman look put together before she opens her mouth. You don't need a blazer every day, a well-designed collar, a structured vest over a tank top, a neckline that creates geometry. Any of these will do. What doesn't work is putting everything below the waist while the face area is left with no visual anchor. The next trick is about something that happens before you even leave the house, and that most people never realize is sabotaging everything they just put together. Before the next trick, let me tell you something. How many times have you opened a closet full of clothes and still thought, I have nothing to wear? The problem isn't a lack of clothes. It's that nobody ever taught you how to combine the pieces you already have. That's why I put together a guide with over 150 looks. Tested one by one, using only 15 pieces you probably already have at home. And the best part, you don't even need to think. Just choose the look, copy it piece by piece, and in 5 minutes, you're ready to go. The link is in the pinned comment and in the description. And if you're watching on TV, just point your phone at the QR code on the screen. Trick 6. Steam, press, and align your clothes, like a stylist would. Some people do everything I've mentioned, adjust the fit, get the tones right, anchor the texture, and still, the moment they arrive, the look feels smaller than it should. And the reason is almost always the same. The clothes were wrinkled. This is 6 of 7, and it might be the most revealing of all, though the best is still to come. Here's a contrast few people notice. You can be wearing a genuinely good quality piece and have it look inferior simply because the fabric is full of creases. Wrinkles create uneven shadows that break up the cut, hide the fit, and make the surface look careless. The eye reads that as cheap before it even processes the piece itself. What stylists do before any shoot is simple. They prep the clothes before they ever appear on camera. Every point gets checked. Collar, cuffs, hem, seams, pockets, lapels. And after it's on, every point gets checked again. For example, a white tailored shirt, straight caramel pants, and nude pumps. The shirt shows up first wrinkled, with the collar curling up and the pocket puffing out. The look feels careless, even though it's well put together. Now steam the shirt, align the collar, flatten the pocket, fix the sleeve fold. Let the hem fall clean over the shoe. The same look, a flawless white shirt, straight caramel pants, and nude pumps. now with every surface aligned. It's the same look. The difference is in how much the piece was prepped. A cheap piece treated with that kind of care often visually outperforms an expensive piece thrown on without attention. What looks like sophistication is often just precision. The last trick works on a completely different logic. It's not about adjusting, and it's not about prepping. It's about one very specific choice that makes people notice you the moment you walk in. Trick 7. Make just one thing look exceptional. And we've arrived at the 7th trick, the one I promised at the very beginning, the most powerful of the 7. And it goes in the opposite direction of what most people do when they want to feel better dressed. The natural instinct is to add one more piece, one more accessory, one more layer. But stylists think differently. They pick a single element to carry the entire look and let everything else stay quiet. There's a name for this in fashion: the hero piece, the star piece. Everything around it exists to serve, not to compete. Look at the first outfit: beige pants, sand-colored blouse, nude mules, all neutral. And then in comes a single dark wine-colored bag, structured with a subtle gold strap. It doesn't shout, but it's the only thing doing something different. And that's exactly why you see it first. Second look: dark blue jeans, a simple white shirt tucked in front, and on the feet, a refined animal print mule. The rest of the look disappears, and the shoe is what exists. And the third look: a plain black midi dress, no dramatic neckline, no unusual cut, and 2 large sculptural gold earrings with movement. When this woman turns her head, the look happens. When there's one special thing, the human eye finds it in under a second. Then it moves across the rest of the look and lands on the woman. Not the outfit, the woman. The mistake that turns this into noise is simple: a flashy shoe, a flashy bag, a big necklace, and a print all in the same look. Nothing wins. It all becomes visual noise. Pick one thing. Let it be special on its own. And you know what happens when you apply all 7 tricks together? You won't need to introduce yourself when you walk into a room. The look does that before you even open your mouth. If this video gave you at least one concrete thing to try today, leave a comment telling me which of the 7 clicked for you. I read every one. And if you want to see how to apply this to full looks from start to finish, the next video is already waiting for you here.